Let's be honest. When you think of Italy, your mind probably jumps to ancient ruins, amazing food, high fashion, right? And you're not wrong. But that's just scratching the surface. Today, we're going to peel back that postcard image and look at the complex, surprising, and really dynamic reality of modern Italy.
Okay, so let's dive right in. We're about to uncover a country that's grappling with some very real, very modern pressures. We're talking about everything from the high cost of living to, and I mean this literally, the ground shaking under people's feet. It's a story of incredible challenges, but also amazing innovation and an unbreakable cultural spirit.
So, first up, let's talk about the pressures that shape daily life for millions of Italians. And we'll start with a financial squeeze that's hitting a growing number of people pretty hard.
40%. Yeah, you heard that right, 40%. That's how much more it can cost you to be single in Italy. It's basically an unofficial single tax, a huge financial penalty for living alone in a world that's often set up for two.
And you can see how it all adds up so quickly. I mean, think about it. If you're a couple, you split the rent, you split the utilities, so the cost per person is lower. But if you're single, you're footing the entire bill yourself. Even grocery shopping can work against you with smaller, more expensive packages instead of the bulk savings families can get. It's a subtle pressure, but it is very, very real.
But, the pressure in Italy isn't always financial. For almost 1 million people living near Naples, it's literal. It's a pressure that's coming from deep inside the earth.
This is the Campi Flegrei. It's a massive supervolcano, and lately it's been getting really active. People there are dealing with what experts call seismic swarms. We're talking hundreds of small quakes. And just recently, they felt a 4.4 magnitude tremor, which is actually the strongest one they've ever recorded in that area. Scientists are closely watching this phenomenon called radiusism, where the ground itself is slowly being pushed up by magma below. It's a constant, unsettling reminder of the powerful forces just under the surface.
Okay, so we've talked about pressure from the economy and even from the Earth itself. Now we're going to shift gears to a different kind of crisis, one that's all about trust and fairness in public life, from the world of sports all the way to the online world we all live in.
Take the recent case involving tennis star Jannik Sinner. So he tested positive for something banned, but the anti-doping agency actually agreed it was totally unintentional, just a tiny trace that came from his physiotherapist. This just whites up a really tough debate. On one hand, you've got strict liability, the rule that says, look, it doesn't matter if you meant it or not, you're responsible. That protects the sport. But on the other hand, what about an honest mistake? Should you punish that? It's a really tricky situation with no easy answer.
And this whole idea of trust, it bleeds into our everyday lives too. I mean, how many times have you booked a hotel or picked a restaurant all based on those shiny 5-star reviews? But what happens when you can't even trust those?
Well, it turns out Italy is fighting back. They've actually passed a new law specifically designed to crack down on fake online reviews. They're really focusing on the tourism sector, which is obviously huge for them. The whole goal is just to level the playing field so that businesses succeed based on real experiences, not some fabricated online fantasy. And speaking of image and trust, let's talk about the ghost of an airline. You might remember Alitalia, the old national carrier. Well, it went bankrupt. Now its successor, ITA Airways, is putting these stickers on its planes, inspired by Alitalia.
So is this a tribute or is it a haunting? It's a pretty fascinating marketing gamble, isn't it? Are they cleverly tapping into nostalgia for an iconic brand? Or are they just reminding people of all the problems Alitalia had? The delays, the financial messes? Nostalgia is a powerful thing for sure, but it's not going to cut it if the service itself doesn't deliver.
But it's not all about challenges. Amidst all this, there's actually incredible energy being poured into building a stronger future. So this next part is all about these forward-thinking investments in people and in communities. Okay, check this out, because this represents a really interesting shift. So northern Italy has always been the country's economic powerhouse, we all know that. But now the south is seeing this amazing growth in its startup scene. And here's what's even cooler, a huge number of these new innovative companies are being led by women. That's bringing a totally fresh energy and new ideas to the economy.
And that spirit of building for the future, it extends to education too. There's this program called Competition a Casa, which is something like homework at home, and it creates this brilliant, virtuous cycle. You've got university students who get real-world experience by tutoring middle schoolers who need a little extra help. I mean, it's a total win-win. It builds skills, it builds confidence, and really grows that sense of community.
And get this, Italy is also going big on reinvesting in the health and character of its next generation by bringing back the nationwide youth games. And this is about so much more than just sports. It's a national strategy to use physical activity to teach kids crucial life skills, teamwork, discipline, resilience, all things that are especially important after the disruptions of the past few years.
All right, for our final section, let's dive into something a little deeper. Let's talk about the cultural and intellectual currents that really define Italy's unique character. It's this deep-rooted soul that just keeps evolving and inspiring.
A perfect example of this is the Treccani, the Encyclopedia Italiana, which is celebrating its 100th anniversary. Just think about that for a second. A full century dedicated to documenting and preserving Italian knowledge. It started as those iconic massive print volumes, but today, it's evolved into this dynamic digital hub with videos, interactive maps, you name it. It just proves that deep, reliable knowledge still has a vital place in our modern world.
And Italy's soul is also defined by these incredible visionary thinkers. Take Michelangelo Pistoletto, an artist nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. His work is built around this really powerful concept he calls preventive peace. Now, this isn't about reacting to conflict after it starts. It's about using art to foster dialogue and address the root causes of division before they can ever escalate into violence. And of course, that unique Italian soul, you can find it in the landscape itself. A new project is certifying the 100 most beautiful roads of Italy, and it's all about encouraging a different kind of tourism, something slower, more sustainable. It's like an open invitation to get off the beaten path, to just enjoy the journey and really connect with the authentic heart of the country.
And really, that quote just nails it, doesn't it? It gets to the very heart of what makes Italy so endlessly fascinating. It's never just one thing. It's the tension between ancient history and modern challenges, between this jaw-dropping beauty and some really complex problems. That incredible mix is what makes it so captivating.
So when you step back and look at it all, from a rumbling supervolcano to a booming startup culture, from doping debates to the enduring power of knowledge, what we're seeing is an Italy that is constantly redefining itself. And that leaves us with one last thought. In a world that never stops changing, what new stories, ideas, and lessons will emerge from this remarkable country? The exploration is just beginning.